Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley, and I'm back with another Portal video. This one's interesting, guys. I was scrolling through VolQuest on my lunch break. This name pops up, Jared Verse. The name pops up. I'm like, I'm going to do anything with this one. But then I saw his highlights, started doing some research. This kid looking to bump up from FCS, and offers are starting to pour in. Seems like one of those guys that somehow falls through the cracks, but now he is creating momentum. He enters his name into the portal. Offers are starting to roll in, and this guy is getting some buzz, some momentum, and there is a key reason. There is a key reason we're going to talk about him. But first, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that thumbs up just below the video. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, you're wondering what this is. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We are fans just like you. If you enjoy the content, go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we drop a video or when we do a live stream. Indy Kid and Dauber will be live tomorrow covering the basketball team. They'll go live immediately following the game. So make sure you tune into that. I am going to show you guys some highlights on Jared Verse here in just a moment. Going to take a look at this article from 24/7 Sports. It says here, Albany defensive end transfer. Jared Verse is one of the hottest names in the portal. This is an article by Chris Hummer. And again, this I had not even heard of this kid, but he is one of the hottest names, building a lot of momentum. And I'm getting excited about it, and I'll tell you why. We'll get into it right here in just a second. The article says the email came at 8 a.m. when he was asleep. By the time Albany defensive end Jared Verse woke up at 11 a.m., his phone had 15 missed calls, 30-plus missed text messages, and an uncountable number of Twitter notifications. Well, why did that happen? The CAA Defensive Rookie of the Year this spring and a dominant presence this fall. He had 11.5 tackles per loss, 9.5 sacks. Verse had emerged as one of the top young pass rushers in FCS. He may have had just 2 offers exiting high school, but people took notice when Verse, a redshirt freshman, entered the transfer portal. Here's a quote from Verse. It says, "It's insane," he told 24/7 Sports. "Pressing send on one message changed everything." Now, who is Jared Verse? He is a defensive end, 6'4", 247 pounds. Right now, he's got offers from Connecticut, Nebraska, West Virginia, Houston, Utah, San Diego State, Purdue, and Colorado. And I got this from draftscout.com. Says he was a dominant player on the defensive line for Albany this year, ranked 3rd in the CAA in sacks, tallying 10 solo and 1 assisted for 10.5 total on the season. He finished 4th on the team with 53 tackles, 11.5 for loss. Standout defensive end, recorded 8 tackle games 3 times, recorded 2 sack games 3 times. Also totaled 13 quarterback hits, adding a pass breakup and a forced fumble. I'm going to keep going through this article, but what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to stop sharing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share up his highlights, because this is where I got excited reading the article and, whatever. But once I started looking at his highlights, got a little bit more excited. I'll get those shared up on the screen here so you guys can take a look at that as I continue to ramble. So here we go. Continuing through, the article says deciding to leave Albany didn't come easily. The Great Danes were the school that saw his potential and recruited him harder than anybody. They helped transfer him from a high school tight end to one of the best edge rushers in FCS. But when thinking about his future, Verse knew he needed to play at a different level to provide him the best chance of reaching the NFL. Now, where does it get interesting? What have we been talking about all week long? What did I talk about this morning on the recruiting video? If you want to get to the league, who's the best guy in all of college football to get a defensive lineman to the league? That is one Rodney Garner. The question is going to be, will Tennessee have interest in Jared Verse? Again, the video I dropped this morning, they're still working on Walter Nolan, ESPN #1 player in the country. They're still working on Jeffrey Mabah, who I think he's coming to Tennessee. #1 JUCO player in the country on the defensive line. I think he is coming to Tennessee. The one I'm not so sure about, Tyree West. So maybe Rodney Garner sees how that plays out before he makes a decision on Jared Verse. But how do we know? How do we know that he is interested? Let's keep going through the article. It says it was a long decision trying to figure out if I was going to transfer. The coaches were amazing. The school was amazing. I just needed a change. As a player, I can reach my goals going to a bigger school with more competition, bigger guys who are also on that track to get to the league. This guy is all about making a living, playing football, getting to the NFL. Says here, Verse will have the opportunity to play on the FBS level since entering the portal Tuesday, picked up more than a half a dozen FBS offers, including Nebraska, Utah, and Purdue. Says things are moving so quickly that he talked to 24/7 Sports while driving to nearby Syracuse for a visit. Will be the one of many for Verse in the near future. He hopes to visit Iowa, Houston, Purdue, and Tennessee. That's right. Jared Verse mentions Tennessee in the list of schools he wants to visit. Now, it says here the Boilermakers and Cougars have offered. He's still hoping he earns offers from the Hawkeyes and VAWLS. Of his Iowa interest, Verse described it as heavy. Says he's meeting up with the coach later this week, and I think he's going to offer me right then. Well, that's the guy with some confidence. Says when he's talking about his timeline, he wants to be enrolled at his next school in the spring. He'd like to announce his choice by middle to late December. In terms of factors that are most important to Verse, how he'll be utilized and the vibe within the program are critical. Get those off the screen there. The quote from him says, I want to talk to coaches and ask them what they expect from me. Do you want me to be a pass rusher, a 4-down guy with 60 plus snaps a game? Or do you want me to just be a pass rusher? I can be a 60-down guy. Use me until I'm dog tired. You have to take me out. I have to be able to buy into the coach's beliefs and see how they are as a team and a system. Are you competing for championships? Are you making players better? I also want to see their mindset as a team. Are they trying to hit that next level so they can push me and elevate my game? That's the quote from Jared Verse. Everything this kid says, everything he says sounds like he would be a perfect fit at Tennessee. Rodney Garner, what better guy to develop? Guys, I am getting excited about this Tennessee defensive line. We're going to have to see how it plays out. Walter Nolan, all over the place. Who knows what's going to happen with that kid? But again, visiting Tennessee this weekend. Jeffrey Mabah visiting Tennessee this weekend. Possibly Tyree West visiting next weekend. We'll see how that one plays out. There is a lot of talent visiting Tennessee on that defensive line. Who better to seal the deal than Rodney Garner? What do you guys think about Jared Verse? Again, I played the highlights there for you. Not a whole lot out there on him. I tried to do a lot of research before I jumped on here to make the video. Not a lot out there. I guess it's where he's trying to make that bump up to the next level. Could be that he didn't get a lot of offers because he played tight end in high school. Didn't get a lot of buzz on the defensive line. But again, a lot of hype around this kid. Anytime you see a kid like this that's kind of an unknown, again, like I said earlier, one of those guys that falls through the crack, once you see the offers start rolling in, you start to think, okay, this kid's got something special. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. What'd you think of the tape? What'd you think of the highlights? What do you think of his quote there right at the end? Everything he said, talking about the culture, talking about getting to the league. Are they going to develop me? Everything he says makes me think he would be a perfect fit for Tennessee. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you have not done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Also, you can check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. Just go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Any and all support greatly appreciated. But that is going to wrap it up for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The songs howl like me, poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we draw home, and it's night and I'm alone.